Good evening. Welcome to the latest edition of Storm Report Live. We are presented by the Pharmacy in Bennington and Manchester, as well as JC Tractor. I want to introduce myself. My name is Chris Sipperly. I'm the co-owner as well as the general manager. My co-host is Adam Samarov, former sports editor for the Bennington Banner. And we are joined by Joe Retos and TJ Cawthorn. So, Adam, without further ado, let's get it rolling.
I wanted to first start with you, Tip. I know we have a couple of things going on this couple of weeks here. I believe there's a recruitment event going on, or there was one scheduled for Friday. Just tell everybody kind of what's going on with the Storm this week, and what we're up to and what's going on.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we have our second sign-up meeting, which is at Ramontos and North Adams. That is from, I believe, 6 to 8. Right now, we're kind of looking really an opportunity for some guys from that area to kind of come out and talk to us, introduce themselves. I can respectfully say that we're at a pretty good point in terms of interest. So it'll be good. It isn't one of those things that that are I wouldn't say unimportant, but we're in a good place. But we're looking forward to meeting some guys that are out from that area. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to get out because it's been about a month since we've done some in-person stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
I did also see. I think it's a player thing, but if you're already kind of on the go and want to be a part, I know there's an event going on at the Field House in Canaan, New York, which is down where 22 and 90 kind of connect, basically right around there. Kind of guys getting in, doing some strength, doing some speed work and things like that. Just guys getting ready for the season. But I know pretty sure that's only a player thing at this point. But it's happening. I just don't know exactly when. So somebody, I'm sure, on the comments will say exactly when it's happening.
Yeah, that's March 12th from 12 to 2.
Okay. I got told anyway.
Yeah, so so this is something that we haven't really ever done before. We've tried to do it before. We're going to ultimately do something at Riley Rink in Manchester at some point, but looking at it in terms of where this Canaan facility is, it's almost in the middle. It's a little bit longer for the Bennington guys. Todd, you're right. It's the 19th. My mistake. It is March 19th from 12 to 2. So, but it was kind of in the middle. It's about 20 minutes or so from Pittsfield. It's about 30 minutes from Albany, maybe 35 from Troy. So it kind of gave us a better opportunity for guys to come from all over the place. Because at this point, our team kind of, we can almost call ourselves the Tri-State Storm at this point because we pull from Vermont and New York and Massachusetts. So it's a good problem to have, but a little bit of logistics have to go in to make sure that everybody's, not at a disadvantage in terms of travel. So we felt like that was a good chance to try them out. And, they're pretty open to let us do just about anything. We're not limited to contact or non-contact. This particular one will be non-contact, but as we move along, we might be able to do that indoors. So.
Not fair. I was looking forward to that.
But but that's actually a pretty good segue. Last week we had on Joe and we had on Zay and we had he's going to kill me for forgetting the names. I'm so bad with names. Ty, thank you.
Yep.
And those are all skill guys. Now we got the big boys. Speaking of contact, now we have the big guys on.
Yep.
So I'll start with you, Joe. Just to tell me, how you got started loving the game of football, where you went to school, some of the who is Joe Retos?
All right, so that's a good question that I ask myself every day, actually. But so my love of football came from. I'm actually from a big football family myself. In terms of just fans, a bunch of Giants fans, a lot of Giants fans. So that's what piqued. Yeah, you can bob the head down a little bit. It's all right. So I picked up football from my family. My older brother played Pee Wee when I was really young, so that's what really piqued my interest. Then when I was in middle school is when I actually started playing football, 7th grade. From there, I played all the way throughout high school. And then I also went to college at some point, played a year not a full year at Cortland, but I tried out for the Cortland team. I made the team, but it just became too much for me at that time between juggling school and football, and it's almost like a full-time job in college. And anyone that is on the team or watching that's played college ball will back me up on that. It's a full-time job on top of being a full-time student. So.
Where did you go to school? Like high school?
Oh, high school. Yeah, I forgot about that part. So I went to Lansingburg.
Okay, so you're a Section 2 guy. You know the kind of the ins and outs of Capital Region football and that. What year did you graduate? And then just talk about your experience, with your coaches, with your teammates. Just tell me a little bit about your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So I graduated in 2009. In the latter years of high school, I was tight end. I played with a bunch of all-stars. There was guys like Kenny Youngs, Chris Sawyer at linebacker, stuff like that. Some of the greats from Lansingburg and Section 2, and Coach Pete Purcelli, head coach, amazing guy. I actually was coached by him when I was younger for wrestling, and so me and him got along pretty well right off the jump.
Yeah, and Pete's been around. He was at Hoosick Valley for a little while, trying to help build that program as well.
Yep.
And by the way, Sip, I just wanted to say I think that this podcast or this podcast, I guess, or video cast is turning into the Section 2 report. We've got a lot of
yes, it is. Yep.
Oh, I forgot about one person too. Shout out to Todd Barito, because that man was a savage. He's straight downhill runner. Just he loves creating chaos and havoc. So I had to make a shout out to Todd.
I don't mean to, Adam. If you don't mind, I got a question I wanted to answer.
Absolutely.
That was in the chat. So this question is from Ethan Hunt. He asked me about the Storm Hall of Fame and one of the members of the Hall of Fame who was Philip O'Neill, and he wanted to kind of get an idea exactly what he had done for the team. And the short answer is everything. Phil was a huge supporter of the Storm right from just about day one. He was always there to support the team, whether it was morally or, there's many times that he kind of kept us going. He was a driving force to why we're over at Storm Stadium at Willow Park. His generosity allowed us to purchase the bleachers, allowed us to kind of navigate through making our own field goals, you name it. There wasn't anything he didn't do. He was also very good at kind of motivating without saying anything. He was a very special guy. Everybody around him always wanted to do the best and be the best version of themselves. So I can't say enough good things about he and his family. So that's a really quick answer, but he's a huge part of our past success and hopefully future success.
And his son and grandson obviously did a lot also locally as well, for the Little League and for the high school teams and stuff like that. So the O'Neills have been around for a pretty long time, doing a lot of great things for the Southern Vermont and Bennington specifically.
Without question. No, it's impossible to answer that question and remember everything. He's just an amazing guy. But anyway, sorry to kind of slow that down, but I want to answer that question before I forgot it.
And that's important. I mean, we're talking about, last week and this week, we're talking about the guys that have been around 2, 3, 4 years, someone in there, same as last week. He's somebody that's been with it, like you said, since those first days, when it was, some mostly Bennington guys and maybe a couple of Mass guys, maybe a New York guy here or there. But, the team has evolved, things have changed, but his legacy continues to pay dividends for the Storm.
Oh, for sure. And I also just want to mention that Mark is just joined the stream.
It's very dark and possibly outside.
There he is.
There he is.
It looks like he's in his car.
What's up, Mark?
What's up, fellas?
My guy. What's up, bro?
Excellent.
I honestly almost forgot.
It's all right.
Well, that's what he thinks of us. Yep.
Bro, we talked about this yesterday.
So Mark is also another offensive lineman that's gonna, hopefully take us to where we want to go this year. So I wanted to ask a question for TJ. TJ, you have been following the team for a better part of 2 years. We've talked about a bunch of times about you coming up here to play. So I guess where are you coming from? Where are you living right now, and what's your plan?
So I'm actually from Maryland, and I've actually been following the Storm for a little bit over 2 years. I think 2018 is kind of when I've fell in the storm train. I actually was playing my first year of semi-professional was in 2016. I played one game with the team, and then right after we folded, I kind of started looking at other teams around the state of Maryland. I started playing in 2017, and then I think that was when we were actually in contention to go play like the Sunrise Bowl down in Florida, and they said that there's a team from Vermont that won a championship, and I like joked around with a bunch of my family that I had up in Vermont, and I was like, Vermont has semi-pro football, like being such a small state. I was really shocked because I didn't expect football to kind of outreach that way, and so I started following the storm, and then probably around 2018, I got like a full season in of semi-pro. I played for the Baltimore Bombers. We had about 8 games, and then it got cut short because of funding for our team actually disappeared weirdly. 2019, I started playing with the Maryland Hurricanes, and we actually won the ECFA championship. It was really fun to play. It was a team that kind of branched off of what the Bombers were. A lot of us actually went to that team once the Bombers kind of went out of the league. And then 2020 kind of being the COVID year, played about 3 games with the Hurricanes. We actually went undefeated in our ranking. They had us going to the Sunrise Bowl as well, but with COVID striking, they didn't do anything. So I actually jumped ship to arena football and played for the Western Maryland Warriors. And I played 2 full seasons with them. We actually just wrapped up our season in December, and I've just been playing. I've been playing semi-professional going on, weird to say, 4 years now, and I've been playing indoor. About to be 3 years now.
Dope.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to add up. I mean, geez, this is year 17 for us, so it's quite amazing how quick it goes.
Oh yeah.
So Mark, you with us?
Yeah, I'm good.
Hey,
What's up?
so I kind of want to bring you into the conversation just a little bit. So,
Yes, sir.
So this is technically your third year already. So when you look at 20, 21, and 22, and 22 coming up, what do you see? Where do you see this team going in 22? Or where do you hope to see this team going in 22?
I think I believe we won it this year. I really believe we won it this year. You recruited a couple good pieces that I've been seeing defensively. Yes. That's where we was good 2019 defensively. It fell short due to COVID. 2020 defensively we fell short. Linebackers, a couple outside men, we fell short. We had that game at Grass. Like I said, we beat the dog crap out of them before. Played them again. They came with a different look. Yep. We played our asses off offensively and even defensively. Let me not take it away from
I know what you mean. There's some disrespect there. I get
Defense wins games. And the pieces you picked up is going to hopefully help us win it all. I don't see nobody really stopping us.
I don't see anybody.
Last year, every D lineman we played, soft. Poop.
Pancakes for days.
It wasn't nothing, honestly. But again, our defense kept a couple teams in the games. Our offense sometimes too. It took us a long time to get it going. But again, when we are well-oiled, we are well-oiled. We get it moving. We get the ball moving. We have fun. We just need to put the right pieces again out on the field. Yep. Practice is going to be hella fun because I'm bringing a whole lot of energy. I hope everybody else is. Defensive linemen. You getting a lot of hogs, I see, Chris, and I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Big
we're going to be chirping because that's all we do. We chirp. We eat and chirp. That's it.
Oh, I definitely.
I'm with you, man.
Wait, I have to help. Wait a minute. I have to help lead this group. Oh my! I'm looking forward to that. Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Can we get a pancake counter this year?
Hey, I'll get the syrup chain if you need.
Yeah, because like unofficially, I had like 22
I ain't
last
gonna
year.
lie, that would be cool. When I went down to Florida for the Nationals, Waffle House gave us their sleeves, so we had the Waffle House sleeves on playing the Nationals. That was type cool. I ain't gonna lie.
Need
That was
that.
down in Florida. So if we could come up with something like that for the linemen, the hogs, bro, like I said, you're doing great in recruiting. Like I said, again, Troy don't got a season, so that's helped us a lot too.
Oh, no question. And I've said it last week, and I'll say it again. It's no disrespect. We all have to do it. Every team has to kind of reboot every once in a while, and hopefully we can put it all together.
Right, and when they reboot, we're gonna expect to miss a lot of guys, and so be it. But I feel like we're gonna win this chip before that happens.
That's the goal.
We've been chasing it since it happened.
Yep.
We're not done. I don't see another state. I don't see another state really beating us, man.
Nope.
We always shoot ourselves in the foot. We have not lost to a team that just dominated us. That we left the field like, God damn, them boys is good. No,
And
I haven't seen the team yet.
You mentioned that last week. Loyalty. Obviously Troy is not having a team this year. I know Coach Job, I forget how to pronounce it exactly, but I know he's coaching at Waterville Elite now. So they've got some things to figure out, and eventually guys will go back because they're loyal to that system and to those guys. Just like the Storm guys have been loyal to you and Pat and everybody that's been involved with this program, for as long as they have. So, you said that, you appreciate the loyalty, even if it maybe gets guys that we'll have this year, then maybe that won't be next year, but that's, that they're loyal, and that's what you want.
Absolutely. I just want people to be happy. I want people to be wherever they want to be, and I want people to be a positive part of our team. And Mark kind of touched on it already. It's just, and here I am saying the same thing week after week, but we're going to have the ability to hold people accountable much more than we have in the past, just purely on how deep we're going to be. You don't put in the effort, you're not. I can put it as simple as this. How do you expect to be on the team if you're not here? If you're not here, you're not on the team. Period. So it's put up or shut up, quite honestly, and it's long overdue, and I'm very excited. So I'll get off my soapbox on that, but go ahead and take over again, Adam. My apologies. Oop, You're muted there, Adam.
I got it. I was off for a couple minutes. I had to make a phone call, but I know we were talking about Joe and what his thing was. You said, TJ, that you're from Maryland. Tell me a little bit about just where you're from and coming up to Vermont and how you made the trip up here and getting with the Storm a little bit.
Yeah, so I actually live in the state capital of Maryland. I live in Annapolis. I've been here since about 2003. I played football here at Broadneck. We're actually a Class 4A, so we're a big school around this area.
Does it go 1A through 6A down there, or is it or is it backwards? Big school has the biggest numbers.
So for us, it goes 1A to Class 4A.
Okay.
Then we've got what they call 3A, 4A, which is kind of like a mixture of certain like Baltimore County schools that'll like mix together with another school and make a team. It also deals with the amount of kids that are in the school in general. So I played football at Broadneck. I also played lacrosse there, and that was probably one of my favorite sports was lacrosse, and that was kind of something I played outside of high school. I actually went straight into trade school, got my diesel mechanic license, started doing that, and then got into the HVAC field.
That's where I'm
at for the longest time now. But yeah, like right outside of high school, I've been coaching. I actually coach youth football and youth lacrosse now, and we're actually getting into our lacrosse season as we speak.
Okay, and that was down. Did you coach that down in Maryland as well, or is that when you came up to Vermont? You said you've been in Vermont for almost 20 years, then, if that's the case.
No, I've been in Maryland since 2003. I'm still
in Maryland since 2003. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm actually moving up this year. My wife and I are actually moving up very shortly, and we're we're actually really excited. I've got family up there that they actually found out I was on this live, so they're all probably watching right now. But yeah, when I told them, when I posted the picture that I got signed with the Storm, everybody started freaking out, and they're like, is this your way of telling us you're moving up? And I was like, yeah, surprise. How's it going?
Surprise.
Why did you guys decide to move up here? Just work or just family stuff, or not to, I mean, obviously you don't want to share, that's cool, but
no, so a little bit of family. My mom and dad, my brother, everybody, they live in Vermont. My sister's actually in New Jersey. But, I feel a little homesick. I go visit them, whenever I get the chance to. And my wife's actually going to be going to UVM.
Oh, wow.
Probably in the spring-ish, maybe into the next fall. She'll be going to UVM. And we just, I've always had my sights moving up here ever since, I think, the first time I came up here. Every time I go to Vermont, I'm like, I don't want to leave. And, we've probably been up there a handful of times. And every time I always call my boss. And I'm like, hey, I might not be coming back. Like, I'm staying in Vermont.
Well, that Boston hat you're wearing will get you bonus points up here. I will say that.
So it's funny. So my dad brainwashed me. My grandfather played for the Astros, but I root for the Red Sox. But I'm a huge diehard Boston Bruins fan.
All right. So you can't just say, oh, well, I had a family member play for the Astros. Tell us that story a little bit. Just kind of the quick version.
Yeah. So my grandfather actually played for the Astros for 2 years in the 70s. It was 74 and 75. He was a pitcher, and then he left the MLB and became an officer in the Navy, and kind of went from there. So the love for the Houston Astros stayed through the family, and I actually have a Houston Astros hat sitting right next to me. But I thought, having family on the Red Sox hat would be a little bit better.
But that also shows, like, obviously your family has athletics all the way through, just like Joe said that, didn't you say your dad and all your family played sports and everything?
A few of my brothers did, yeah.
Brothers and stuff,
Yep.
yeah. So that's we're all older guys here, like,
I'm not
these young guys.
The beard's going to trick you. I'm not that old.
But I'm saying it's more passion than anything else. Like, obviously we have great players. We have guys that can get it done on the field, obviously. But you've got to have that passion too.
Oh yeah.
And a little, sometimes you get a little bit older, and it's like, if you have that passion for it, like, that's going to drive everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
I have a question for, I guess, Joe and Mark. How many years do you guys play together?
Shit, including flag?
Sure.
What is it, Mark? 6, 7?
6 years.
6 years.
6 years. 6 years. That's been my smash, bro, right there.
All right. Facts.
6 fucking years. We won a championship on the Spartans.
Mm-hmm.
A great season.
Spartans. That was a 2-year program before they dubbed it out. Well, 3 years. The first season went under wraps. The second year we lost in semi-finals by a field goal.
Okay.
We missed the field goal by inches. And then the next year we accomplished it and ran the season. We only lost 1 game, I believe.
That we shouldn't have lost. We were in Watertown, and they had their own. They had their own leagues, their own league refs.
Yeah.
It was rigged.
Fun fact, them refs got fired.
Yeah, after that game.
Yep. Fun fact for cheating us and everything, but
yeah.
We had a fun run. I played with the Albany Maulers before I even stepped on to play with the Spartans and stuff, and I had the experience to go nationals with them. Connecticut Brawlers, they called me down to go nationals with them too. So I have a couple of years going nationals playing. I haven't accomplished the national ring yet. Just gonna keep it real.
What's next year or this year? I guess.
Facts.
This year we are going, and I promise you, I will leave it on the field. I will die if we have nationals. I will leave that shit on the field.
Facts.
Well, I'll ask you the same thing I asked the other guys. Mark, tell me a little bit about where you come from, where you played high school ball, and how you kind of are making your way to Vermont.
So I'm a city boy from the Bronx originally. Not much high school ball I played. I played here and there, as you know. A lot of city programs snubbed it out. When I went down to Florida, that's where I picked up my experience. I played on a practice squad in the University of Central Florida for a little bit before I got a knee injury. Then I made my way back up north up here, and I was sitting on the bleachers. Actually, this is a funny story. I was sitting on the bleachers watching my friend Jeremy Hatter play, and he literally turned around before they started the game like, "Hey, we need a lineman. You want to play? We got equipment and cleats for you." I looked. I was like, "Hell yeah!" And that's it. I ran with them for the whole 2 seasons, and then made my way to Schenectady Spartans. After the Spartans, a lot of my friends was in Vermont already, so they was coming to cheer us on after the Vermont games, obviously, because it was a little earlier. So after Vermont, our friends would come to our Schenectady games and be like, "Yeah, root us on and everything." And it's like, "Oh shit, y'all play for Vermont?" So when Schenectady was done, a couple of guys went up there and it was like, "Hey, you got to come up here." So went there, and I love the program. I really do love the program. It's not no, excuse my language, ass kissing and anything. It's like, put up or shut up. If you're gonna come to practice, you're gonna get on the field. If you're not coming to practice, don't think you're gonna be on the field unless it's very thin on that position. Period.
Yep.
So
you couldn't say it any better. And like, I'm just really looking forward to really kind of, sacrificing, maybe I how do I say this? Obviously we're here to win, like without question. But
that's it. We ain't too old, man.
as I say, so if we have to prove a point early on in the season and that costs us a win, I don't care. It's about,
like I said, I'm all for it. I'm coming. Yep. I play center, so I'm all for it. Retos actually took a fullback half the season for me, actually, because that's just, I developed a passion for being a center. And last year, mid-season, I started out in Connecticut with the Connecticut Mustangs because they play spring ball all the way up until the summer. So I was out there playing with them, and I saw our season was like not going to make it, So I hit up Chip like, "Hey, listen, if you want me back, I would love to come back." And he was like, "Yeah, we need you back."
Yeah, I'm actually really. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, I asked my brother Retos, like, "Hey, listen, if I come back, I hate guard. I could play it. I hate tackle. I could play it. I need that center position, please." I begged him. He gave it to me, and
absolutely, man.
We almost took it. We almost took it to the chip.
Well, not gonna lie, playing tackle is fun too.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet it is.
You have Mark, have a very but even a different look at it. I played football at Utica D3. Joe played at Cortland for the year as D3. You were in Division 1. University of Central Florida, has been.
I played. Let me say that as you just said that. We played Florida Gators in a scrimmage. And when I say these boys made me look like I was a peewee, yeah. So, yeah.
But it's humbling.
D1 is different. It's humbling ain't even a word. I went into McDonald's with these dudes. And I was probably one of the smallest dudes. And a lot of people that know me, I'm 6'3", well over 300 pounds. Well, I dropped down now. I'm 295. But I was well over 300. In college, I was 6'3" at 340, and I look like a baby compared to some of these dudes. A baby. So I could imagine if I really made it out to the field. Actually, it probably been real fun.
But you also got to, you said you played for Connecticut, the Brawlers, and you played for the Metro Maulers, and you played for the Spark. Like, you've got a ton of experience all over the place. You played in the Nationals a couple of times. How does that experience translate to coming up here and now doing this?
First of all, the transition from learning, because like I told you, I barely played high school ball in the city. It was really more, let's get on the field, no equipment, bang each other up, and that's how we learn, to actually go into a whole structured program where it's like, holy shit, like I could learn this and that, to then actually leaving that and learning from my brothers. Because again, I'm not the best. I wasn't the best, but in the last 2-3 years, I can say 0 to 100 for me. I took it a little more serious. I got with the weight loss program. I got in the gym a lot more. I got the foot movement down more. I actually know what I'm looking for now in the game. So all that experience bottled up is just, I'm ready this year. It just has us well oiled. At least me, and I know my brothers that's on the line, they've been working just as hard. Retos, I follow him on Facebook and everything. Gym all day. A couple of my other linemen, gym all day. Or they just got the experience where I'll just take from them. And it's going to transition onto the field this year. And I really feel sorry for a lot of the linemen because we are not playing. We're coming with a whole lot of animosity because we lost last year. There's no way in hell we're supposed to lose. And we're just going to put a lot of hands on people. That's it.
And that's something I'm looking for. My goal is to be able to help you guys this spring, coaching up a little bit. I'm just looking for guys to give me everything they got. You guys know, I'm not coaching, not like the high school where I'm helping to coach the high school kids where they need to learn the technique, especially these young ones, where they need to learn, their footwork and they need to learn, their arm placement and hand placement, all that stuff. You guys know all that stuff already. So for you guys, it's more just honing that in. That's what I'm looking for.
Right. And like I said, we're all we need is a couple little kings to work together. Other than that, a lot of us already got that experience. Whereas, yes, we understand where you coming from. We understand what you're looking for, and we just want to put it out there. Our other old lineman coach last year, wonderful guy, taught us a lot. I'm not going to say a lot, but he also was a player. So it's like that transition is kind of hard, because you stick to certain things only. Whereas you're coming from coaching, it's going to be a different experience for us as old linemen. And I look forward to it. Like I said, I'm a hard worker. Retos is a hard worker. First of all, you playing lacrosse. That shit's hard work, period.
I miss playing lacrosse.
It's going to be a dog out there. So, like I said, I feel very confident this year, especially with our O-line, and it starts with us. That's it. It literally starts with us.
It starts with you, man.
Transferring the ball to the quarterback, right. Without transferring the ball to the quarterback.
You're snapping that ball.
Without us blocking, it ain't no game, So I look forward to the season. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very happy about the season.
No, I am too, especially having well, Mark obviously is a big part of it, but you being able to be here right from the beginning, and we won't have that 3-4 learning curve. So I think it's going to be we have a lot of ability. We just got to pull it all together. So TJ,
yeah,
you have experience, of course, playing offensive line. In a perfect world, where do you see yourself playing along the line?
So it's funny. So when I first started out, I was actually a middle linebacker in DM. And my second season in, our center actually snapped his ankle, and they kept telling me like, "Hey, we need a center." And I was like, I played center on JV for a single game, 2 snaps, and if you got the experience, you can play. I was like, all right, cool. So I played center. For 3 games. I've played guard multiple times. Tackle is probably where I played the most. But when it came to arena, I played center. And I've gone through. We played a team out of right outside of Philly, and they had a bunch of Steelers D linemen. So they're 6'7", 320 pounds, and I'm only 6'1", 275. It was fun. But it was a learning experience for me being an undersized guy. I had the O-line built around me. But once they were like, hey, we're going to put you here, it was something that I picked up instantly. So being a center, you got your hand on the ball, you snap the ball, you got, some help back then. But, being a guard, you're you can just go plow somebody over. You don't have to worry about snapping the ball. You just got to make sure nobody touches your quarterback. And, the same thing as a tackle. Just make sure your kick step's there and make sure nobody gets on the outside edge.
My favorite spot was always guard because I could do my kick step and just knock out a defensive end or a stupid linebacker thinking he's going to get in there and make a play. No.
Yeah, my favorite play when I was playing, 2019, they had me at guard, and I was a pulling guard. And being the smallest guy on the line, like the average size of guys on the line with me, so my two guards were like 6'5", like 310 each. My two tackles were like 6'7", like maybe three. I think one was actually 290. The other one was around 300 pounds even. So I was the smallest guy there. So they actually swapped me and one of the guards. And me being the fastest guy, we had they pulled me and went out with the running back. And I had so much fun going to the next level and just laying some dude out and laughing at him as I'm getting back up.
And what about, I mean, I don't want to leave you out. Like, just, you played center. I mean, it seems like we have three centers. I only need one center.
No, I can honestly say I think everybody, especially this year, I think are really looking to be cross-trained and helping. I know. I mean, Joe's already done that for Mark. So I think if the shoe was on the other foot, it would happen. When injuries will happen.
Of course, I started off as a guard, and actually, since my weight loss journey, I lost over 100 something pounds.
No, you look great.
I could even
You really
play
do.
tackle if I really had to do it. So I'm wherever I'm fitted. I love playing center. Obviously, as I played in flag, I played in semi-pro since I learned. Since Retos told me, hey, you should try to snap the ball. All right, let me try it. And I just fell in love with it.
Not to interrupt you, Mark, but on Mark's account, he has gotten significantly better over the years, especially when he did the weight loss. He's just gotten better and better and better.
I agree with that. Proof is in the pudding.
And
man.
this is what a little bit of training, a little bit of coaching. So I could imagine if we really had the coaching and we go through a whole training camp and everything else, how I would be. This is literally with the minimum amount of training. Like I said, I came last year half season. I could barely make it to practices, with my schedule. So I was just making it one practice and games, and I still show up best foot forward. So I could imagine now where I'm more dedicated, where it's like I'm not missing the practice because like you just said, it's two other centers or this and that. I don't like a job being given away when I know I can do it.
But there's also, again, we're not getting paid for this. I mean, sometimes, weddings come up or family, events come up and stuff like that. And I know from experience being around this program since, like officially since 2012, those things, it's always, family, faith, football.
But Adam, at the same token, it's been 3 years, me and Retos, for at least 3 years. You got to figure it out. Them guys that's returning, we got to figure it out. It's not like he got a whole field of rookies where we got to figure out our schedule or we got to figure out what we doing in life. No, we're a whole bunch of vets now. This is what I'm trying to say. The dudes coming from Troy, they played 5+ years on Troy. You got your schedule already figured out around the semi-pro shit. So it shouldn't be no more excuses. Yes, maybe a wedding. Yes, maybe a surprise baby. But other than that, get your ass to fucking practice and let's ball out this year. There shouldn't be no reason we don't go undefeated. There shouldn't be no reason we holding our trophy up. And there shouldn't be no reason we holding the trophy up in Nationals too with a ring. There's no reason this year.
Driving 8 hours or take a 2-hour flight just to get.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you could do it, it shouldn't be no reason for these local dudes that Troy's only 40 minutes away. Vermont, you're already in Vermont. And then Mass, you're another half an hour, 30 minutes away.
Yeah, about 35 minutes.
Let's get on the bus. Whoever's watching, let's get on the bus. Let's get this shit together because this year's our year, man. Last year, we screamed that shit so much and we fell short. We screamed it.
Yep.
Practices, midway through, this is our year. Certain pickups.
Yeah, I might have muted you by accident, Mark. I lost you there. Yeah, it's stuck.
I do love the surprise baby line. That's probably one of the best lines ever on a Storm Report Live. The surprise baby.
But Mark, you know what? You're right though. Like, I mean, I know we're beating a dead horse. This is probably like the 5th or 6th one in a row we basically said this. But the bottom line is this: we have everything we need to be successful, and the only people that are standing in front of us is ourselves. The commitment was the only thing that was missing. We did everything we could last year in terms of putting it all together. Now it's just going to have to come from within, and if we want to reach our goals, like until we decide that we're going to do things a certain way and hold each other accountable, we're going to have the same result. So this year is really about just committing to each other. We do that, we'll be just fine.
I think that's a pretty good way to come to an end.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Mark, Joe, TJ, it's great to meet you guys. We'll be, we'll be talking as well once we get out there. It's supposed to be nice and warm this week a little bit. Later on in the week, it's supposed to be like 60. So let's think football. And, let's get it done this year.
Sounds Absolutely. Good, guys. Thanks for joining us. And we'll be back sometime next week, probably Wednesday or Tuesday like this week. But we'll definitely get it out there. Thanks, guys.
No problem. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah.